this as well. Cool. So like I was saying, in my first year of trading, I only focused on Forex. In my second year, I focused on cryptocurrency for 6 to 9 months straight by watching Crypto Picasso on Go Live every single Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. UK time, right? If anyone's over in America, then you could calculate the times or just plug into the Go Live schedules, right? But yeah, like Swipecoin, Crypto Picasso, and Bitcoin especially, like literally changed my trading game to a whole new level, right? You can see my testimony for Swipecoin. That's how much I promote it, right? To like anyone in the company. But what I'm about to go through today, to be honest, I haven't seen, me personally, I don't know any educator on GoLive that goes through this, which is the DCX Harmonic scanner, right? Like we have the Forex Harmonic scanner, which has loads of educators, but I personally don't know any educator that goes through the crypto Harmonic scanner. Like there may be some, and if you guys in the call know of anyone that does this, then by all means drop in the chat box. I'm more than happy to watch them and learn from them, right? Just cool, I'll say that at the end of the call. But what I'm about to go through today is something that I've noticed. Like if anyone's been in my crypto calls previously, you know I have a specific strategy that I created by watching Crypto Picasso's Go Live session, basically scalping Bitcoin for 150 pips in like 15 minutes, right? But what I've been back testing for the past 6 to 7 months now is harmonic patterns with Bitcoin especially, right? Like you can see the pip counts on the screen here. In the month of May alone, the strategy that I've been back testing would have caught you, like if you were to implement this for yourself, it would have caught you at least 4,600 pips, right? And that's again it may be a bit difficult, or it might get a bit confusing when you first use it, but trust me, after like 2, 3, 4 times of you practicing it for yourself, you'll instantly pick up and like recognize that pattern, right? Especially with the use of the DCX harmonics, which I'm going to go through, right? You can see these pip counts, and again, I wasn't holding these trades for like a few days. I was literally holding it less than 24 hours. This trade here, cool, it says maximum 270 pips. If I was to hold it like with a swing style trading like I usually do, I would have caught just under 1,000 pips, but realistically I did hit break even on that. But that's the maximum within that day, if that makes sense, right? And then so far this month, in the month of June, that's how much it is. I'm up in profit. But yeah, I forgot to mention this, like if anything doesn't make sense in this call, make sure, trust me, like you want to ask me as much questions as you want with this limited time, right? So let's get straight into this. So if you haven't done this already, to access the DCX harmonics is literally the same as you accessing Steady or the harmonic scanner. You just go into im.center, and whilst this loads up, you want to go on to strategies, scroll down to DCX Academy. Normally, if you want to use the Swipecoin scalper, you would click on Swipecoin and the CS logo. But for the digital currency harmonics or crypto harmonics, click on harmonics, then the big logo. Trust me, the first time they launched this and released this, I was shook. Like when I saw loads of gaps in the market, I didn't know what was going on. Like why is the entry so big and the stop loss so big? But again, this is cryptocurrency. It is volatile, and on smaller time frames, sometimes it's volatile, sometimes it's not volatile, right? Compared to forex pairs, so that's why you do see gaps in between, especially on a lower time frame, right? But I won't go through each and every currency pair or each and every cryptos. I specialize, or I mainly focus on Bitcoin, right? BTC USD. So So yeah, like what I look out for, just go on the 15-minute time frame or any time frame you like. Normally, you would on TradingView anyway, you would look for BTC USD, but for the DCX harmonics, it's kind of flipped around, right? It might not make sense, but trust me, you want to look for USDT underscore BTC, right? Basically, US dollar tether to the Bitcoin, right? Drop something in the chat if that makes sense. Drop a yes if it makes sense. Drop a no if it doesn't make sense. Yeah. One more person. Cool, perfect. I'll keep on lookout if there's any questions. But yeah, once you've found basically BTC USD, or the scalper calls it USD BTC for some reason, by just taking the entry and like the entry stop loss and take profits on its own is very profitable, right? Like, cool. After the D point has formed, the candlestick on the D point has formed, your current market price will be there, right? So if you say like a buy limit or something, cool. You may be risking 140 pips. Forex wise, that's big. Crypto wise, that's nothing, right? But cool. Like you're here aiming for 400 pips, and this takes less than 24 hours, right? So it's literally a 1 to 4, if I'm correct. 1 to 3, 1 to 4. The screen is stuck. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me just reshare this. How about now, Isabel? All right, perfect. My apologies. Cool. So to access the DCX harmonics, you just go into strategies, DCX Academy, scroll down, and it'll be on the left-hand side, right? Not swipe coin, but DCX harmonics. When you first log in, there'll be like loads of gaps, like I mentioned, but just stay on the lookout for BTC USD, or like I said, Harmonic scanner. This scanner likes to call it USD BTC. Cool. So like I was saying, sorry about that. You would want to, after the red candle has formed or any candle has formed on the D point, you want to wait for it to finish on the 15-minute time frame, for example. And you can either set, like the most simplest way of using it, set a buy limit at one of the two entries. It doesn't really matter what one you take. If you take from the bottom one, max risk is 140, 145 pips. Minimum risk is, if you take from the top entry, 50, 60 pips, which is, again, like I said, in crypto, that's literally nothing. And then, like I said, TP3, which does hit most of, like 80 to 90% of the time, does hit, and that's 400 to 500 pips, right? Depending what entry you take. Now, cool. So does that make sense? Like take an entry. By the way, I learned this from Videsh, I believe his name is, right? If you're brand new, whether it be you're using the Forex scanner, Harmonic scanner, or DCX scanner, or any setups in general, right? When you're trading by yourself, like trading your own analysis, what helps me to determine what is a sell opportunity and what is a buy opportunity is these letters or these words, right? So for a selling opportunity, since selling starts with an S, you will look for SET, right? Stop loss, entry, take profit. For a buying situation, buying, we look for TES. So T for take profit, E for entry, and then S for stop loss, right? If you're brand new, don't know what's the difference between buying and selling, look out for this, right? Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah, cool, perfect. Can you repeat that? All right, cool. So if you're looking for selling positions, you basically, since in a selling position, you want to profit on the way down. So your stop loss is above your entry, right? Look for this. Oh, it's already here. So stop loss, entry, take profit, right? The SET, set, yeah. Selling starts with an S, so S will be at the top, right? So buying, for buying positions, since you want to profit on the way up, you look for take profit, entry, stop loss. Yeah. Ashley, does that make sense? Perfect. Cool. So that's like the most basic way of using the DCX harmonic, right? Wait for the candlestick on the D point to finish forming, set like a sell limit or buy limit, and then literally copy and paste these, copy and paste your stop loss, copy and paste one of the entries and one of the take profits as well, right? Now, with the harmonic scanner, the pip count will be a bit weird, right? So if you take your ruler tool from the entry 2, for example, let's just take it to TP3. Now, I believe on the Forex scanner, you'll be focusing on this, if I'm correct. But for the DCX one, you want to focus on the left-hand number, right? So if you don't know already, I was meant to go through something else. If you don't know already, I'll just see if I could do that for you guys. Cool. So now what screen do you see? Do you see a swipe coin slide screen? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so as an example, this is Swipecoin if you don't know, like copy and paste Swipecoin, the app. So if your entry is 9,600, for example, and your take profit is 10,000, that is a $400 difference, right? So for Bitcoin, write this down. For every dollar Bitcoin moves is 1 pip. For every dollar Ethereum moves, right? Ethereum, that is 10 pips. For every cent Ripple moves, that's 100 pips, right? Let me know if you want me to repeat that again. And then lot size wise, Casa recommends for like the minimum. Okay, cool. So for Bitcoin, every dollar Bitcoin moves, it's 1 pip. If it moves $400, that's 400 pips, right? Like from 9.6K to 10K, that's $400. So it moves 400 pips, right? For Ethereum, for every dollar that moves, 10 pips. For every cent Ripple moves, that's 100 pips, right? Uh, could you type what you said? Right, no problem. BTC USD, every $1 movement is 1 pip. Ethereum, every dollar that moves. So normally in Forex, you'd do the 4th decimal place. In crypto, you do the actual numbers, right? That's 10 pips. Ripple XRP, USD, every cent movement is 100 pips. Yeah, take a screenshot or take a picture, whatever you want to do. So that's that. Now, hopefully you can see the same screen. Lot size wise or risk management wise, Crypto Picasso recommends for Bitcoin and Ethereum, for every £200 or $200 in your account, use a 0.01 lot size. If you don't have £200 or $200 in your account, I don't recommend you to trade Bitcoin or Ethereum, just because I've had loads of people message me saying their situation and whatnot. So me personally, I wouldn't recommend you to do that. So go back onto your Forex pairs or just trade Ripple and build up your account, compound your account, for example, like 10%, 20% a week. I know some of you guys did like that in a day, which is crazy. But build up your account to that size in order for you to trade Bitcoin. Yeah, that's what I would personally recommend. But if you have £100, for example, like I said, by all means, you could use a 0.01 lot size for Ripple, right? For example, let's say you start with or build your account up to £500. That means for Bitcoin, only use 0.02 lot size, right? If you want, you can split that position up. So 0.01 for TP1 and then 0.01 for TP2, right? But it adds up to 0.02, right? Let me know if that makes sense. All right, perfect. So yeah, using the DCX harmonics from Swipecoin and integrating it to the strategy I'm about to show you, which is the pip count that you all saw. Like even if you look on the 4-hour time frame, for example, right? BTC USD. This one's about to hit entry, is what I'm waiting for too. Once it hits that entry point, I'm gonna take that back up to TP3, which is almost 1,000 pips, right? Like I said, focus on the left-hand side number. That 992 basically means 992 pips, right? But yeah, like, let me try to see a good opportunity for you guys. Right, so in the template I sent out, or whoever sent out in your chat, I said that with what I'm about to show you with harmonic patterns, you're able to get like sniper entries or sick entries with the pip count I just showed you, right? So if I just get rid of these stuff, oh, cool. Now I always refer back to the harmonic scanner for like a proper confirmation, but like I said, the more I practice it, the more I can recognize these patterns for myself. Yeah. For example, like if you lot been using Steady or any other products, then you'd be able to recognize those trading styles the more and more time you implement it for yourself and practice it, right? So I always recognize this certain pattern after a huge sell-off or after a huge movement upwards, right? For example, in this sell-off here, I immediately recognized some sort of a harmonic pattern on the 3-minute time frame, I believe. Yeah, 3-minute time frame. So what I'd done was cool. I saw this huge red candle, basically a sell-off candle. I got my harmonic patterns out. I like to use the magnet tool to be a little bit more precise. But even if you just take let's look for cool something like this, right? So in a harmonic pattern, to be honest, I'll be straight with you. I don't know every single Fibonacci numbers that goes along with each pattern, but all I know is the market goes up, makes a high, pulls back down, roughly halfway between that movement, comes back up, trying to make a lower high, and then either makes a lower high or breaks down and makes a lower low. Oh, sorry, yeah. So it just it's like an M, if you want to call it that, right? Does that make sense? Please, someone drop in the chat. Yeah, perfect. So I saw this happening, right? I saw a movement up, there being a pullback, right? And then making a lower high, and then made a lower low, right? Some people might say that's not a correct harmonic pattern because of the numbers, but in my opinion, that looks the same as this, right? And this is a scanner created for harmonics. So after you see a harmonic pattern formed, what I do, get my Fibonacci tool out over here, Fib retracement, take it from this D point, and then pull it up to your pull it up to a higher high, right? Where was this? Okay, I think I've done this on a 1 minute time frame, but let's just see it. Okay, I don't think it would go back that far. All right, cool. So basically what you want to do after that harmonic pattern has formed, you want to take your fib tool. If it was a sell-off candle, for example, like this situation, take from that low, and you want to drag it from a low to a high, right? On a 1 minute time frame, you would want to be doing that, right? And then drag that to the right hand side, like into the future, basically. And then either I personally take entries of the 38.2 or the 61.8, right? Which is a reversal fib level, right? And I've been backtesting this for the past 6 to 7 months, and it has been working out. So get your long position tool out. I always do 38.2 to be safe. Stop loss on the 100%, and then take profit. Depending on how long you would like to hold the trade. If you want a quick in and out trade, literally take it to the highs, right? Take it to these highs or fill in that imbalance for a good 140-ish pips by risking 40 pips. I personally took it up to kind of halfway of this imbalance, right? It might not be clear on your side of Zoom, but basically around this point here. Which did line up with this wick here. So that was a decent 360 pips, right? And again, this was in a space of 4.5 hours roughly, right? So again, repeat that. After you see a harmonic pattern formed, it would be something like this. Take your Fibonacci tool from the D point, drag it up to wherever the market just reverses, right? So if I just draw out for you, so if it does something like this, if it just, all right, actually scratch that. What I've actually noticed, and I'll be completely raw with you guys, is after that harmonic pattern has formed, there might be like 1 or 2 minutes of it like slowing down, but there's usually a huge expansion move up, and then it loses its momentum, right? And it just travels down a bit and just consolidates, or if you want to call it a Wyckoff pattern, then by all means do it, go for it. But I like to keep it simple. I just say it loses steam on the way up and consolidates. And then that's when, at that point there, where I see it doing a small pullback, that's when I put my fib tool from the bottom to the top of this peak, drag it out to the future or whatever. And then that's when I would place a buy trade, a long position, from the 38.2. Stop loss always the 100%, and then your take profit. If you know your smart money concepts, then by all means do that, like fill in the imbalance or clearing out the equal highs or equal lows or stuff like that. But if you want to keep it basic, aim for like 200, 300, 400 pips, right? Depending on the time frame you use it on, right? If it's less than 15 minutes, aim for like 200 pips. If you use it from 1 hour to 4 hour, aim for like 400-500 pips, right? There's less than 10 minutes left. Does that all make sense to you guys? Does anyone have any questions? All good? All right, cool, perfect. So one thing I forgot to mention is like the only reason why I've noticed this pattern forming, like with harmonics, with fibs, or whether it be my scalping strategy, I always refer back to the Wall Street cheat sheet, but I don't have time to go through that with you guys. But by all means, in your own time, search that up. But what I have noticed, and Picasso always refers back to this, is this harmonic pattern forming, right? So after 2018, when that huge sell-off happened, like I said, I always point out a harmonic pattern after a huge sell-off or after a huge expansion move up, right? So this, if you've already noticed them, great. I noticed this, right? So from that huge sell-off, it come up, make a higher low. It does a pullback, makes a higher low again, I believe. Or it just makes that high and then loses steam off there, right? So that's a harmonic pattern that's formed. What Picasso done, what I've noticed, and that's how I create the strategy, is get your fib tool out from that bottom wick, put it to that, let me just get rid of the magnet, from that D point, take it up to one of these highs. So whether it be this one or that one, and then enter a buy of the 38.2. And then I would personally place my stop loss at 100% and just ride it all the way up, right? Either to fill the imbalances or take out these highs, wherever your trading style is. I believe this is what Chris Terry pointed out last year when everyone's thinking Bitcoin was going to sell off. I trust whatever Picasso says, whatever Chris Terry says, right? Picasso backs Chris Terry all the time. So yeah, that was my whole reason. Like that was how I actually noticed these harmonic patterns with fib combining together, right? And again, if none of this made sense to you guys, don't worry, you've still got that DCX scanner, right? Which does insanely good, right? Like I said, I only focus on USDT underscore BTC, and that still does amazing, right? Like you don't have to enter every single trade. Like I've mentioned this on the 4 hour forward chat. Like you only need to master 1 or 2 currency pairs, then you're basically set for your trading plan, right? You don't have to enter every single currency pair, every single setup. Just focus on 1 or 2 pairs, whether it be forex, whether it be crypto, indexes, gold, whatever you do. Just focus on 1 or 2 or 3, master that, and you'll be set, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just one little favor to ask for you guys. Like I said, there's not much educators that goes through, in my knowledge anyway, there's not any educator that goes through DCX Harmonics. So if you are gonna shout me out on Instagram or your stories or wherever, please make sure to tag I am Swipecoin, Ivan Paycheck, Crypto Picasso, and Nick Gomez from the Zoom call to just let them know that I've done a training call for you guys for the DCX Harmonics, right? Maybe one day I'll be on Go Live doing this for the whole company, right? Yeah. So if you want to, I have been getting quite a few questions about how to learn cryptocurrency and all that. I always say watch go live consistently, Crypto Picasso or Nick Gomez for crypto. That's how I learned it anyway. So yeah, just a small favor. Please tag, if you're gonna tag me, tag Ivan Patriots, Picasso, and I am Swagcoin, because I'm using the DCX Harmonics, right? But yeah, that's it from me. Okay, yeah, I'll put my Instagram. So, 99. Cool. So that's my Instagram if you don't know. And the IAMs, all right. I am Swagcoin. Cool, perfect. Hopefully I spelled each and every one of them right. But yeah, that's it from me. Again, if you have any questions, if you're in the 4 hour 4 chat, by all means, drop me a message. If you don't have my number, then drop me a DM and we'll get in contact. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope this all made sense. It might be a bit back and forth, but yeah, I hope it made sense. And yeah, let me know if this works out. And yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, guys.